Welcome, thanks for joining us today. I'm Mayor Westmoreland, and we have with us Mack from our, tell us your title again?
The Public Utilities Manager.
Public Utilities Manager. And what does a Public Utilities Manager do?
We oversee the overall operations of the water system, distribution, also oversee the wastewater treatment facility and the collection of the waste. So it's a little bit of, the clean coming in and not so clean going out.
Okay, so water and sewer, right? And certainly, obviously a very popular topic lately to talk about water, and we have water concerns. We're in a drought. And so tell us some of the things that our residents might be benefited in knowing about how water is delivered, because certainly it's one concern, whether we have enough water or not. And that's something we'll talk about in another segment. So today, let's talk about how that water gets delivered to our homes so that when we turn on our kitchen faucet or our shower, that water comes out.
Okay. Typically, the way the system is set up here in Eagle Mountain, we have currently 4 wells that are running operational. We also have a contract with Central Utah Water to deliver, a sizable amount of flow to we use their water during our summer months. That's our peak, so to speak, on this system. Those, the wells and the sourcing from Central Utah will then fill the tanks that we have located throughout the city.
Okay, so we have redundant water sources. We have the water district water that's pumped into the city. And we also have our well water, that we're using those combined in conjunction to have the best delivery possible.
Correct. Good redundancy, like I say, it's been beneficial to have that Central Utah water. With the give and take of season by season, we have the ability to throttle the flows to us. If it's at a point where maybe we don't need as much, we're able to drop the flows. If it's a point where, hey, we're in a bind, we got maybe hit a little bit harder, more people are irrigating at the same time, we can increase it.
Well, it's certainly understandable in a drought year like we're experiencing to be concerned about whether we have enough water or not. And from your perspective, does Eagle Mountain have sufficient water sources?
We do. We have plenty of water. It's just getting that distribution fine-tuned. We have PRVs that are set throughout the city. We manage those, like say, about every other month.
And for the benefit of our viewers, the PRVs?
It's basically like what you have on your home. It's a pressure regulating valve. It's if it comes in at a higher pressure, it knocks it down to a pressure that is suitable, and then the people downstream don't get overpressure to where we're blowing up, lines, fittings, those types of things.
Yeah, so too much pressure, something breaks, not enough pressure, and you don't get the result you're looking for out of your faucet. And in a city as large as Eagle Mountain and as spread out, I imagine that gets a little complex in managing those pressures and water volume.
It is. Obviously, it's something that is dealt with all year long. It's constant modifications, tweaks. We'll get engineering firms involved if it's needed, just because we may see pressure swings. What's going on, new growth. Obviously, it changes the way we do things. Throughout the year.
So, as I understand it, our water delivery system is one big loop with pumps, with pipes, with tanks, and as you mentioned, this is managed throughout the year, but with variables, right? So you have summer usage and winter usage is going to be different, and then you have growth to adapt to. So tell us how you make those adjustments and manage those pressures and volumes.
Yes. No, not really. Obviously, we have a SCADA system, and we have trending. Good data makes it easy. We watch the system on what it's doing, how it's reacting. Seasonal changes obviously will bring, whether we're going into summer, we'll bring on more of those wells to offset, because everything is truly by the minute on our SCADA system, which, SCADA is basically it's the lifeline of our system. You know, we have it both on water and wastewater, but in this situation, water, we're tracking it by the minute and making modifications as we need it, and just kind of going out and modifying the PRVs. Like I say, sometimes we get engineering firms on board with growth. You know, you're always trying to make sure the projection matches the growth so that we have new sources, new tanks coming online that, you know, match and as we move forward.
So certainly I know that my job can be stressful, but I have to imagine that managing that water delivery can be quite stressful because, you know, sometimes things break. Sometimes things don't work the way they're expected to.
That is an ongoing battle, and there's a lot of sleepless nights. You know, I've got great guys around me. They step up when it's needed. You know, we've had leaks 3 o'clock in the morning. We've had leaks, 15 below zero. I mean, we've had a lot of crazy stuff happen, and it's good to have a good group around you to help offset that.
And it really is, the recommendations from the city are primarily, as much as we want to conserve water, but what we're really, really interested in is that consistent delivery. And so our recommendations to the public are really about managing that water delivery.
It is. I mean, obviously, if you can restrict your flows, it's going to help out the overall system, which in turn helps out cost in the future for replacement or, parts that are breaking, the wear and tear. So it does truly help that way. Plus, honestly, the way, with the ground source, we're in a drought this year. I won't see it till, who knows, 3 years, 4 years down the line. So we monitor our static levels, and it's just a matter of that balance.
Good point. Anything else you'd like to share with our residents on how they might be able to help you manage that water?
Slow the flow. I mean, honestly, get out there, look at your systems, your irrigation systems, make sure you're fixing the heads, make sure they're spraying grass and not roadways. Those are the kind of things that we're looking for. And if there's any questions on irrigation, please reach out to the water department. We're here to help.
And we want our residents to know that water delivery is the priority.
It is.
Here in Eagle Mountain.
It is.
And it is the number one. And so we will continue to work together. Thank you, Mack, for all that you do.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.